What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to talk about with you guys. This time actually revolving around the New York Knicks and Danilo Gallinari pretty much yet again, with it currently being reported that the Knicks are expected to pursue free agent Danilo Gallinari this offseason per Legion Hoops. So again, I think this is a very, very interesting one in my opinion, and I really am excited about this, and I think it could be a very, very move for, a very good move for the New York Knicks, as a lot of people are, kind of talking about this one move that looks like it's going to be potentially happening as well. For those of you who haven't heard, there is currently a massive rumor going around right now that's being reported by many different journalists that the New York Knicks are officially going to be trying to get Chris Paul as well as, Danilo Gallinari. What the rumor actually is the New York Knicks are going to try and draft LaMelo Ball no matter what they end up getting, what pick they end up getting from the draft lottery. What the rumor is, let's just say they get a top 3 pick, then they're going to draft LaMelo Ball with that if they do win the lottery with that top 3 pick. But if they don't get a top 3 pick, let's just say they get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever it may be, then what's going to happen is the New York Knicks are reportedly going to trade up. Once they get LaMelo Ball, they're actually going to trade for Chris Paul. Now, how this is all going to work is pretty much they've got a pretty, well thought out plan. What's going to happen is when it comes to offense, LaMelo Ball is actually going to run the main point guard duties, while Chris Paul is mainly going to play off ball, similar to what he did at Houston with James Harden, and, a similar case to what he does with Dennis Schroeder, when Dennis Schroeder gets on the court and pretty much, facilitates all that type of stuff. So again, it's not like Chris Paul is, not used to the role, but obviously, yeah, then when it comes to defense, then what's going to happen is Chris Paul's actually going to be guarding the point guard position, while LaMelo Ball's going to be then going on and guarding the shooting guard position. So I think that's going to be the main thing. And, if they get Chris Paul, then obviously I think that's going to definitely, entice Danilo Gallinari on potentially joining the New York Knicks to play alongside, Chris Paul again. But what the interesting thing is, for those of you, who didn't know this pretty much, some people are saying, well, what's going to be going on with Julius Randle? If they get Danilo Gallinari, then is Julius Randle going to be playing the 5? What's going to be happening? Or, is he going to be playing center, rather? Again, what's going to be happening? Well, again, what I think will pretty much be happening is I honestly believe Julius Randle is going to be getting traded for Chris Paul. I think that makes the most amount of sense, and I think, yeah, that's what a lot of people are kind of believing right now. And yeah, again, I think OKC will definitely be interested in getting Julius Randle, in my opinion, as Julius Randle, although in my opinion I don't think he has too much potential to be anything more than what he is right now. Again, he's only like 25 years old or something like that, so I definitely think there could be somewhat of interest when it does come to that. But what a lot of people actually don't realize is the New York Knicks and Danilo Gallinari have actually, he's played with them before. He was originally actually taken at pick 6 in the 2008 NBA draft to the New York Knicks, where he actually, his best season was the one where he started 48 games and, played 48 games on 34.8 minutes per game. He was only 34.7% from 3 that season, but he was averaging 15.9 points per game. And then I believe they actually decided to trade him, which was a little bit interesting, but obviously recently on the Clippers, he had an outstanding season, averaging 6.1 rebounds per game, 19.8 points per game on 43.3% from the 3-point line. So I think that is obviously extremely interesting. And this season, he's not even like near the first option, and he is just having an absolutely great season with OKC, who are currently the 5th seed in the league right now, I do believe. And yeah, he's currently averaging as well 19.2 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 2.1 assists on 40% from 3 on 30.7 minutes per game. So again, he is having an absolutely great season so far with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I honestly believe there is a huge chance that they actually could potentially do a sign and trade. The rumor has it as well that he was actually originally going to get signed and traded to Miami. No one really knows why that deal ended up falling through, but it looks like they're going to take him through the playoffs again, there is a chance he just joins the New York Knicks in free agency, but I honestly believe he's going to want to do a sign and trade with the Oklahoma City Thunder, so we can probably try and get maybe $1 to $3 million more in a deal with them as well, and then they can kind of trade him off for whatever it's going to be, or they could make it real easy and re-sign Danilo Gallinari and then package Gallinari and Chris Paul in a deal for who knows what it'd be, Julius Randle, a couple first-round picks, maybe a young player like Kevin Knox. I definitely think could, potentially get the done, because obviously he's a sign-and-trade player, and Chris Paul's, a lot older, and again, I don't really think OKC wants a rebuild, so, not rebuild, sorry, want to contend, so I think their main task would be to rebuild and try and get quite a bit of picks. So I think that's what's most likely going to be happening when it obviously does come to Danilo Gallinari and the New York Knicks. And I think that would definitely be a very interesting one. And it looks like we've had a couple of reports recently now that the Knicks are interested in Danilo Gallinari. So I wouldn't be surprised at this point if it's going to probably be a thing. Like, I definitely think they're going to be really going after Gallinari quite a bit. They're going to be very intense on trying to get him, and especially now that they know, they're going to try and get Chris Paul and LaMelo Ball as well. And then, yeah, that's definitely going to be, I would assume, a playoff team. That could actually be a really, really interesting team. Like, and they'll definitely most likely have enough cap to try and go out and get another player if they really wanted to. But they could be, kind of building a team which would include Chris Paul at point guard, LaMelo Ball at shooting guard, RJ Barrett at small forward, Danilo Gallinari at power forward, and Mitch Robinson at center. I think that's a very, very interesting team. That's definitely a starting five that I would assume could make the playoffs. And then off the bench, they could definitely try and build a relatively decent bench. They could take in Alfred Payton, Reggie Bullock, and maybe go after and get just a couple of really nice bench players here and there as well. There was also a lot of rumors that they were interested in Dennis Schroeder. That would just be extremely funny to me if they were able to get Chris Paul, Danilo Gallinari, and Schroeder. I think that would be absolutely insane, but for some reason, I just don't think they're going to be getting all three of them. I think that they will most likely get Chris Paul, and then Danilo Gallinari he's going to be one that I definitely think they will obviously, try and get as well. And yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty interesting team going into, the upcoming season, because right now, when I look at it, the East, I think if they can get this team, the East is going to be most likely so much better than the West for the first time in quite a while. For example, OKC will definitely go down. They will most likely not be making the playoffs, I wouldn't think. And then you got pretty much the Brooklyn Nets, who will be adding Kevin Durant back. They'll be adding a healthy Kyrie Irving. John Wall comes back for the Washington Wizards, so I expect they might look to try and make the playoffs as well. The New York Knicks are going to be adding Chris Paul and Danilo Gallinari and LaMelo Ball potentially. The East is going to absolutely be stacked. The playoffs is going to be extremely interesting. Like, when I look at it, you'll have the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis. You'll have Pascal Siakam and Kyle Lowry on Toronto. You'll have Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, and Jaylen Brown and Gordon Hayward on the Boston Celtics. You'll have, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and whoever else they go and get in free agency on the Miami Heat. The Indiana Pacers, I believe, will be taking in a couple of really good players. Victor Oladipo, TJ Warren. It's going to be really interesting. Philadelphia, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. Again, the list goes on. Brooklyn Nets will have Kevin Durant, Kyrie. New York could have Chris Paul, Danilo Gallinari, and LaMelo Ball. And then Washington could have Bradley Beal and John Wall. Wow, the East is probably going to be absolutely stacked if this does happen. Yeah, I definitely think the New York Knicks could actually make the playoffs if they do get Gallinari and Chris Paul. But I definitely don't really think they're going to be going and getting Dennis Schroeder. I just can't really see where that actually does happen. I honestly believe Dennis Schroeder could still get traded. Because, yeah, they're definitely going to want to go out and get some picks and, get some young players. So, I don't necessarily know OKC are going to be getting Dennis Schroeder, but how insane would that be if the New York Knicks traded for Chris Paul, Dennis Schroeder, and Danilo Gallinari? I just think that would definitely be pretty funny. But, of course, I would really like to hear your thoughts and opinions on this all down below. What do you guys think the New York Knicks are going to do? Do you guys think they're going to trade for Chris Paul and Danilo Gallinari? Do you guys think they might even trade for Dennis Schroeder? Again, I definitely would really like to know all your thoughts and opinions on this, down below. But also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channels. Links for them will all be in the description down below. And definitely go check out my podcast if you haven't already. Links for that will all be in the description down below as well. But as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.